Hey everyone, welcome back to week 5 of building Spider-Man's battle for New York City. So basically, this week there wasn't a whole lot of building done, and I'm going to explain why. I think this is one of the biggest weeks we are going to have. I would say that from week 1 to week 10, this is probably one of the most important weeks, and this is because this is a design week. So if you're one of those that you're not here for the Legos themselves, you're here for more of the design process, then this is the video for you. But I still wouldn't know why you're here if you still don't like Legos. So a lot of it I basically am redoing. And I'm basically just gonna be flat out honest. I don't have enough pieces to build the set that I wanted to. I'm not um, I don't have as many pieces as I thought, and I was being overly ambitious, which normally wouldn't be a problem. But the one thing is that if I built the subway system and basically first floor completely the way I wanted, I would not have as much of a detailed, basically first level with the skyscrapers as I wanted. So I basically came up with a new blueprint, which I think will do so much better in the long run because of the fact that it's basically not sacrificing any part of the model. It's just making it look so much better, so to speak. It's going to make it look so much more clean and fresh. And we're also going to go into a little bit of a surprise I have within this video. So let's get to that surprise right now. All right, guys, here's the surprise. So obviously, if you've watched my Lego haul video, this isn't much of a surprise. But this is going to tie in to this mock in general, mainly through the cathedral. So this set is the fourth biggest Lego set of all time. And as you can see, it mostly consists of those tan pieces and those sand colored pieces, which I like a lot. Remember the Daredevil Cathedral that I mentioned that the other Hogwarts is going to basically be used for? Well, this is also the primary, thing set that I got that's going to contribute to the cathedral. With all the 6,000 pieces that come with it, I can build a very giant detailed cathedral that's going to be the size or somewhat close to the size of the Daily Bugle, because I have 4 buildings in this mock that I want, which is going to be the Daily Bugle, the cathedral, Oscorp, and just some other big random skyscraper which I do want to include. But obviously, if the cathedral is going to be in here, it needs to be supported through a lot of bricks because cathedrals have a very unique design. And we're going to look at that in a moment, okay? So the design is basically going to kind of change. I'm going to kind of see what's the aesthetic of this mock going forward. Because obviously the subway system is the subway system. Even though it has an aesthetic, it's going to be a completely different aesthetic than basically the first floor would be, right? So from there, let's go on to just kind of look into what the cathedral might look like. And then let me show you all the design or the newly designed blueprint for this mock. Okay, so what we see here is probably out of the 4 pictures, I'm going to show you the least likely. And the reason I'm showing you this anyway, regardless of the fact that it's least likely, is because I like how it has a bunch of angles. It doesn't look like a simple box. It looks very architecturally unique. This one I like a lot, but the thing is, it's too clean. When you look at the one from the Daredevil series, you can tell it's older and a lot more grim. It looks more like Notre Dame than it does this one. Even though I like the design, such as the big towers, which I will incorporate, this is not what I'm going for specifically because, that's not the one we see in the Daredevil series. This one is more like the one we see in the series because of how, it's a little bit more darker, it's a little bit more grim. The reason I am not choosing this one and just being like, you know what, we're just going to go completely with this one is that it's very small. I want something that's going to be a little bit bigger so it fits the size of the models, such as this one. I'm not going for this one, but I'm going for the size. So if we incorporate photo number 3 with photo number 4 right here, this is what I'm going for. Okay, so now that you got a good view of this, let's move on to the next part of this segment. One other final note is that the architecture is going to match this, in which it goes for a very gothic feel. So without ado, now let's move on. So what did you all think about the Hogwarts, piece count going towards those cathedrals that I showed you all? Just kind of let me know down in the comments section which is your favorite. As I said, I've numbered them, so just kind of let me know. There will be a little bit of a poll from the comments section, so please let your voice be heard. But this is kind of the newly designed, or at least the first blueprint I kind of came up with for the subway system. So as I showed you, with past pictures, that basically if it were the original blueprint, it would extend out to about right here. Well, I'm going to kind of change it up. So basically, as you all have seen from past videos, the railroad track, Sinister 6, Doc Ock's laboratory, the subway station, and the sewer is right here. Okay? So what changed? Well, before, the road was going to be about right here with the parking garage right here. So I eliminated all this dead space that would technically be right here, because this table that it's sitting on, about a fourth of it was dead space, and I didn't know what exactly I was going to do. So instead I eliminated it, and I just stuck the road immediately right next to the sewer. What does this do? This gives me more pieces to work with, but it doesn't really sacrifice anything, because like I said, I didn't know what I was going to do. So that would have been kind of basically a gamble, whether or not that would really fit the model. And even though I always like gambling because I like beating the odds, with this, I'd rather beat the odds somewhere else than the subway system, because most of the focus, let's be honest here, is going to be on the tunnels and the Sinister 6 layer, not all of the dead space that I would have originally had right there, right? So what do you all think of this design? Just let me know. Next week, I'm going to have a couple more designs. This was just kind of the first one that popped up in my head, and I wrote it out about a day ago, and then I just kind of ran with it. So let me know what I should edit. But without ado, let's go on and get some pictures of my progress for this week. So basically, one of the sections I worked on was the outside, particularly between the subway walls, the Sinister 6 layer, which is in the left-hand corner, and basically that pillar section close to the building to the far right. I took that pillar section down and I kind of tore it up a bit. And basically I'm redoing it to give it more of an architectural feel. I'm going to go more into that next week. And then in here, the main pillar that's, as you can see before the two train tracks converge, I'm basically redoing it because it kind of stuck out like a sore thumb and I wasn't liking that too much. In here I built basically a third wall. See, you have the wall on the far left and far right, and then you have the one that's closer to the camera. I basically built that wall. It's the exact same as the other two, just to give the building a more unfinished feel. I did a bunch of greebling and snot tiling on this side to give this a very finished look. I'm going to do this on all parts of this section as soon as I finish off the main parts. And in here, I kind of did some detailing. Specifically those wood frames, as you can see, which I do enjoy quite a lot. And as you can see, some snot tiles towards the bottom, along with some work along the subway lines, so to speak. So the subway stairs, as you can see, I have started working on. And then a bunch of the lighting I have also finished off. So without ado, let's get to the conclusion of this video. So, to conclude this video, was it worth it? Was it worth it for me to buy that Hogwarts and to basically redo the design of this model? As I have told you before, the design is going to be basically changing. It's always going to be always evolving, because I am going to include y'all's suggestions, because I do care about what you all, the commenters, the viewers, the loyal subscribers, have to say about this mock. I want everyone's opinion. Like I've stated before, I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, and I'm a pretty big Daredevil fan, but I want you all to basically tell me what you expect from this model. So just comment. I always will read your comments and I will reply back. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, And as always, keep on building.